You may be wondering, do I need a passport for an Alaska cruise? In this video, I'll tell you about the travel documents required for U.S. citizens traveling to Alaska on a cruise, leaving from a U.S. or a Canadian port. There's a lot of confusion about Alaska cruises and the travel documents required. That's because although Alaska is a U.S. state, Alaska cruises involve one or more Canadian ports of call. So your cruise will begin, end, or stop in a Canadian port along the way. So it's important to know what the requirements are and to know them well in advance. And that way, there's no impact to your Alaska cruise vacation. Let's talk visas. Canada does not require a tourist visa for U.S. citizens traveling and staying for fewer than 180 days. Your Alaska cruise will be much shorter than that, so no worries there. You won't need a visa. Regarding passports, I highly recommend and strongly suggest that if you're traveling to Alaska for a cruise, that you get a passport. If you don't have a passport, and you're going to travel internationally at some point anyway, now is the time to get it. And if you do have a passport, ensure that you have at least one blank page in your passport and that your passport will be valid for 6 months after you return. You don't want to cut it too close with the validity dates. This is something that I recommend to my clients, and it's also a practice that I personally have. And so I highly recommend and strongly suggest a passport if you are traveling to Alaska on a cruise. Are you enjoying this video? If so, press the like button. Also, subscribe so you don't miss any videos upcoming about Alaska. And also, if there's a video that you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. If your Alaska cruise starts or ends in Canada and you'll be traveling to Canada by air, you will be required to have a passport. Air travel or air entry into Canada requires a passport. Regarding passports, one exception is if your Alaska cruise begins and ends in a U.S. port, the same U.S. port that's called a closed loop cruise. Let's say maybe it starts in Seattle or San Francisco, but if you're beginning and ending from that same port on a closed loop cruise and you'll be entering Canada via the cruise ship, technically a passport is not required. You do have to have proof of citizenship, and then you can enter the country when you stop at the port. Most likely your cruise will stop in Victoria, British Columbia, so you could enter Victoria, British Columbia with a passport or proof of citizenship. So what constitutes proof of citizenship in this particular instance? Proof of citizenship is proven by passport, enhanced driver's license, or combination of a birth certificate and, if you're 16 or older, an ID or driver's license. Now, the birth certificate has to be issued by the government. It has to come from the Vital Records Department of the state in which you were born. Something from the hospital or a baptismal record or something like that does not count. And your ID, your driver's license or ID, has to be government issued as well. A little bit more about the two types of IDs related to traveling back and forth between US and Canada for US citizens. Enhanced IDs, or enhanced driver's license, also known as EDLs, are not the same as real IDs, which we have here in the United States, a real driver's license. Enhanced driver's license allow you to, as a U.S. citizen, enter Canada or re-enter the United States, as well as Mexico and the Caribbean. But the EDL is only accepted at land and sea border crossings. So if you're going to fly into Canada, an EDL will not be sufficient. You must have a passport. If you have a real ID, while that allows you to fly domestically, that does not allow you to enter Canada. It's not a substitute for the enhanced driver's license you would need if you were flying into Canada, a passport, and if you were entering Canada via land, like driving or sea, via a cruise or some sort of other watercraft, then you would need the enhanced driver's license. The real ID will not cut it. It'd be enhanced driver's license or birth certificate and government issued ID, which that could be the real ID, but you would still need your birth certificate. My final takeaway for documents required for U.S. citizens traveling to Alaska on a cruise is to get a passport. Whether your cruise is beginning and ending in the United States or beginning or ending in Canada, overall, it's never a bad idea to have a passport. If you'll be traveling internationally anyway, sometime in the future, you're going to need it. You may as well go ahead, get the passport now and have it. That way, no matter the scenario, you're covered for your Alaska cruise. All right, folks, that is the latest video in the Alaska video series. Thank you so much for watching. If there's a video idea that you have or a question that you have about traveling to Alaska, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to respond with a video and make sure that you're well informed and well equipped for your Alaska vacation. And remember, if you are traveling to Alaska and would like for Hello Horizon to plan and curate the perfect vacation for you and your loved ones, we would be very happy to serve you in that way. So if that is something you're interested in, go to the description. There's a link there to book a consultation, and we look forward to meeting you and working with you. I'll see you all in the next video. Oh hey, you're still here. Join us on Facebook. We have a group that we'd love for you to be a part of, where we share not only posts, but tips and travel-related tips. And if Facebook is not your thing, no worries at all. Honestly, I'm not really a Facebook person either. But we are on Instagram as well as LinkedIn, my personal favorite social media network. So hop on over to one of those and say hi. We'd love to hear from you.